What do Beethoven, Taylor Swift, and Freddie Mercury all have in common? Well, despite their drastically different styles, they all use the same basics of music notation to create their works. Learning to read music is like learning a new language, where once you learn the basics, it opens up endless opportunity for style and arrangement. It may seem overwhelming at first, but once you learn the basics, it's easy as A, B, C, 1, 2, 3, do, re, mi. First, in learning this skill, we'll go over the basics of pitch, we'll count out the rhythms, and finally, we'll play into just why all of this is beneficial. In the same way that a script works for an actor and tells them what to say and when to say it, music tells a musician what to play and when to play it. Music is read on 5 parallel lines known as the staff. It is read up and down and left to right. Up and down tells us the pitch or what to play. Left and right tells us the rhythm or when to play it. Starting with pitch, we'll be using a keyboard to show the different pitches, but really the same system applies to any instrument you can think of. The pitches are named after the first 7 letters of the alphabet: A, B, C, D, E, F, and G. After this, the cycle repeats itself. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, so on and so forth. Going back to the staff, every line and space between 2 lines is assigned a different pitch. If we're to place a note on one of these lines or spaces, we're telling the musician to play that pitch. The higher or lower it's placed, the higher or lower the pitch. Now, in learning to read music, it's important to remember the different pitches assigned to the different notes assigned to the different lines and spaces. According to TakeLessons.com, an easy way to remember the treble clef shown here is every good boy deserves fudge for the lines and face to face with a little space for the spaces. Now, obviously, there are many more pitches than the 9 lines and spaces we see here, so we use a thing called a clef. A clef is the weird symbol at the beginning of the music on your staff that tells you what note corresponds to which line and space on your instrument. If you want to cheat a little bit, you draw a line below the 5 original lines called a ledger line and place a note upon it. Once there are too many ledger lines that it gets ridiculous, you switch into a different clef. Now that we know what to play, let's go over when to play it, or rhythm. Rhythm is dictated by beat, or how fast or slow the song is. Once you have a strong, steady beat for your foundation, this is where music begins. Let's go over some of the basics of units of beat. First, there's the quarter note, which gets 1 beat. Second is the half note, which gets 2 beats. Whole note gets 4, and eighth note gets half a beat. Now, what exactly does this mean? Well, on the staff, there are vertical lines called the bar lines that divide the staff into measures. Just after the clef, there will be 2 numbers stacked upon each other. This is called the time signature, and they will tell you how many beats are in the bar and the note value for each beat. The number of notes in a measure can change, but the number of beats can't. The bottom note can be a 1, meaning that the whole note gets a beat. A 2 means the half note gets a beat. 4 means the quarter note gets a beat, and 8 means the eighth note gets a beat. If this is a hard concept for you to understand, musictheory.com is an excellent source to help you further understand this. Now that we know what to play and when to play it, let's understand why you would want to do this in the first place. Well, first of all, learning to read music helps you learn an instrument easier. Why would you want to play an instrument? Well, despite the many health benefits such as improving breathing, posture, and coordination, it truly helps out your brain. According to the Huffington Post, science has shown that reading music can help change brain structure and function for the better, improve long-term memory, and help brain development in those who learn as a child. It works all areas of your brain, especially the visual, auditory, and motor cortices of your brain, to simultaneously process intricately at incredibly fast rates what's going on in your brain. It also connects the linguistic and mathematical hemisphere of your brain with the creative and artistic part of your brain. In strengthening the bonds between the 2 hemispheres in your brain, it helps you solve problems, academic and socially, much quicker than those who don't. Now that our lesson comes to an end, I hope I didn't fall flat. And the lines and spaces and dots that may have looked like a jumbled mess now remotely make sense to you. To recap, we made sure we stayed sharp with the basics of pitch. Then we counted out the rhythms, and finally we crescendoed into why and how reading music is beneficial to your brain development. Music is a beautiful and fun form of expression, and in learning to read and play it, you can form a deeper appreciation and understanding for it. Maybe you'll even pick up an instrument. It may take time, patience, and practice, but eventually you could be the next Beethoven or Taylor Swift. Thank you.